What's good, YouTube? I decided to make a video on how to install an Xlume light. The Xlume light with a Bluetooth controller. Now, if you do want a discount, go ahead to my Instagram, and I do have 25% off. You'll see it on most of my recent posts. And let's get after it. To get started with this, I do have a 7/16 ratchet key and a 13 flashlight, zip ties, and I have this extender. I will show you why I like to use this. That's essentially to fish the light wire through the bumper. I don't want to take out the bumper, so I will just fish it through the back of the radiator and intercooler, and then zip tie it around all the way to the fuse box. So the first thing we should probably do before we get started, make sure the light works. The positive, hot, we're gonna connect it to the hot right here, and then the ground is right here. So to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the negative cover. I'll use the 13 key to loosen up magnet tray. I want to do is put the negative on. Once again, just testing. So I installed the ground wire on this bolt. Just lay the hot wire. You can see there, it'll spark up a bit. Just test this. Plug the light on. The Bluetooth controller, you can scan here to get the app, and I already have the app. I'll go ahead and scan it anyways. There you go. Magic light LED. As you can tell, it's already connected to the light. I'll go ahead and turn it on, test it out. It looks like it's working. So now we can go ahead and turn it off, and let's install it. Next thing, we can go ahead and disconnect this light. We don't have to disconnect the negative for now. We can take care of that later. Unplug the harness. Just place it somewhere safe. So what I want to do is locate the right place where I want to install the light. As we proceed, we will move the harness through the back. Essentially, we will pull it through here, through the back, all the way around. Next thing what we want to do, we want to take the adaptive cruise control cover off. It should snap right out. Careful, don't scratch the paint. The easy way for me is to install it through the adaptive cruise control space. There's not enough room, so what I like to do is use a towel just for my wrist, just enough to put my wrist through without getting cut. Now, next thing, we want to determine where we want to place the light. Typically you will see it installed somewhere over here on the driver's side, but it's up to you. I think you can do it whatever you feel is comfortable or looks better for you. Typically it looks like this. So now this is at an angle, right? It is printed out, 3D printed out, I guess, to be at an angle, therefore to look like it's straight. Now the Trackhawk or the Hawk head over here is much taller, right, than an SRT, so it will create an illusion that it is not centered. Now you can count these and center it, or you can just eyeball it. That's up to you. I'll do my best to determine where I want it. The further you install it on the side, the harder it's going to be to insert your arm. Keep in mind that you have to take count of the harness. The harness has to go through one of these grills. So I think I decided to install it somewhere over here. Now you do get some flexibility, so once you tighten the bolts, you can readjust it left or right. So I'll do that. Insert my arm in here, or actually just my wrist. So there's not much room, but it's enough for me to lock in a nut and a key to tighten it. Put a washer in, take a nut, pass it through the grill. So I'm just gonna tighten it a little bit. Just take another look. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be using this telescopic magnetic tip tool. I'll tape a metal at the end of the harness, enough for me to be able to fish it from the engine bay with the magnetic tip. Again, once I fish it from the inside of the engine bay, I'll remove this. I keep it thin just so it will go through the grill, as you see here. I will actually insert it right here. Alright, so once I inserted this harness, I want to tuck it right under the intercooler and the radiator. As you see, there's a little bit of space in there. Let me see if I can get. So once you bypass this gap, it will make its way into the engine bay. So as you see here, I added the tip of the harness right under the radiator and intercooler. I will push this further so it can just make its way into the engine bay. I push it a little further. What I want to do now is just wiggle it a little bit so it can make its way to the inside the engine bay. I'll push more harness in there so I have more room to play. Already saw it, it's right there. You see that? The green over there? It's perfect. Next thing, I'm gonna use the telescopic magnetic tool. And I will try to fish the harness. But I think you get the point. Once the magnet is attached to the harness, we should be able to pull it up. As you can tell there, I was able to get the harness. There it is. Now that we got the harness, double check, make sure it does not go anywhere near the fans, it doesn't touch anything, make sure it's not close to any pulley, any accessory. So now that I pulled the entire harness, I'm gonna find the right way to tuck it, perhaps right under this frame. I will put this behind the radiator hose right here. I guess again, I'm just nitpicking now. I don't want the harness to be shown. I personally don't like cables to be shown. And then we'll pull it this way, tie it to this hose, zip tie it all the way back. Make sure it's not exposed. We can even tuck it in, whatever is possible. I don't like not to have it exposed, so it's up to you, but it's definitely looks better not to see it. I think the first zip tie I'm gonna add, it's going to be right on this hose right here. Zip tie here. See, the harness is hidden right under this hose. And then I tucked it right under this frame. You can see it goes right under. There is like a few of these clips so I just put it right under. another zip tie here. Then I was able to stretch the harness so it doesn't fall under the frame. Zip tie in here. I was able to tuck the harness right under this plastic trim. Nothing's really visible. I actually decided to put the controller on this side. You can attach it to the fuse box. When I tested it, it was initially here, but this time I'm gonna move it here. It's just, it hides better. It seems like a better location. All right, to recap. So after we fished the harness, we added one zip tie here, tucked the harness right under the frame, this metal frame here, tucked it right under this reservoir, another zip tie here, stretch it so it doesn't stay loose, then tucked it right under this plastic trim. Nothing's shown. Then we brought it to this hut, tucked the controller in the back. You can do whatever you want with it. All right, that's how I did it. Added the positive wire here, and of course tested it, make sure it works, and then turn on. Now the next thing, we're gonna tighten this up and then see how we want to adjust it. All right, next thing up, I'm gonna tighten this, make sure it's leveled, centered, and all the above. The hardest part is sticking your wrist through here. Essentially, I'd go with the key, the ratchet, and then it's a tedious job, but I guess it's faster than taking the bumper out. What I want to do now is actually take it out, because we want to add this plate right behind it. This plate should come out and go in the back. So I'll be doing that. There you go. Take the plate. Washer. Nut. Same thing on the other side. This is probably the hardest part. Caution, I'm gonna use a towel. This, I don't think it will break if you stretch it a little bit. Obviously, it's more inconvenient because see, so I'm gonna use a towel so that way I can actually stick my arm a little bit further so I can reach the last bolt. Getting the first few threads is probably the hardest part. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these up. Just take my time. This is a tedious job. Probably the hardest part of this is this second nut here. So slowly but surely we'll get it done. This bad boy is finished. And thank you for tuning in, guys. Last, before we go, make sure you install the adaptive cruise control cover.